Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this live stream brought to you by Harcourts of Georgetown and Old Scotch. It's the 2023 NTFA Under-18s Grand Final, and both teams really willing to get out there and get it started. They're doing their warm-ups at the moment. And Georgetown finishing second on the ladder, Old Scotch fourth, but they find themselves in a grand final. Joining me in special comments this morning for this game is Nathan Warren. Nathan, welcome to you. And you've seen these teams this year. This will be quite a battle.
Yeah, looking forward to this, Mike. Thanks for having me first most. Really looking forward to watch Scotch last week in a cracker down at Georgetown at the Capital. They got over the line of South Launceston by a point in the fading seconds of the game. So that was a great game, and I watched Georgetown in the qualifying final, and they were just too strong for an undermanned South Launceston. So really excited seeing this game. I reckon it could be sort of match of the day.
Who are the players that we're expecting to dominate from either side?
Yeah, just a few. I think the captain in for Georgetown in Dan Potter, he's a rebound defender. He's had exposure at senior level this year. Leads from the front with his captaincy. Expecting to open the game up on this big ground of UTAS. Elliot Cross is another one. He's the ruckman. Nice vertical leap on him. Gives his mids first use with his ruck craft. Covers the ground well for a big man as well. There's a couple more. I can go through them as the day goes on. For Scotch, Ollie McFarlane played in the senior premiership last week. All right, nice rangy type, neat by foot, and again another one who covers the ground well. Started at Bracknell this year, so it's actually his third team he's actually played for this year. Though I really like this guy. This is the kid that won the game for him last week. I like him. He's like a little pop-up sprinkler. He's small in stature, but don't be fooled by his size. He kicked the winning goal for him within the last 10 seconds of the game last week. Think Cyril Rioli when you think of Mikey Innes-Smith. Right. He's from down the coast. And Archie Edwards was really pivotal last week. His goal sneaker can work through traffic well. So there are a couple. I can touch on some more as we go through the game. Anytime
you can work in a Cyril Rioli type player, we're going to be excited, I reckon. Because,
absolutely.
And two teams obviously very, very highly skilled. One thing I've noticed in calling some of these NTFA grand finals, if we talking the women's and talking the young kids under 16s a few weeks ago in the NTJFA, geez, good players coming through, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely, mate. It's great. I obviously watch a lot of football in my role, junior football especially. And when we talk about the girls, just the skill levels that they're coming in at 13, 14, 15 years old. Took one back the clock, 5-6 years ago. It's gone through the roof really. And then the boys' footy, just great. Does my Sundays, and I see a lot of football with it. It's great.
Well, Georgetown beat St Pat's by 2 points in the qualifying final. Then, as you said, then South Launceston by 32 in the second semi. Old Scotch beat Longford by 81 in the elimination final, then beat St Pat's by 11 in the first semi, and then South Launceston by a point, as you mentioned in the prelim, which was last week, which was obviously a crackerjack game and went right down to the wire. So what are we expecting? We expecting this to be close. Is there something in this game that might see one side really favoured against the other?
I think when you look at it from a game point, Georgetown are a physical side. They got some big boys there. They like playing a tough brand of football, straight lines. They don't over finesse with the ball. Whereas Scotch they got some classy users with the ball. So if they can get it on the outside, which is what they did with South Launceston last week, they could really on this big ground they could really turn Georgetown inside out.
Well, everyone's getting assembled in the centre of the ground. The umpires are out there, as you can see. This 2023 NTFA Premier Division Under-18s Grand Final, and Georgetown up against Old Scotch Collegians Football Club, and how fantastic it is to have that moniker here along with the Georgetown Saints. So we're getting assembled in the middle of the ground. Players are still just off to the right. You can't see them, but Rick Fontaine, their Master of Ceremonies, is gathering everyone together, and we might head down to Rick in a few moments' time. And Rick out there just trying to get things organised. And let's head down to Rick for a second or two.
Grand finals, 8 different clubs taking part, and we're looking forward to a cracking game of football. Just a couple of housekeepings. No one other than team officials and teams and umpires are to come onto UTAS Stadium today. We've got a lot of football happening and a pretty tight schedule. And for anyone that might need to go and have a nervous smoke or for the vapors, there is a smoking area out the back on the lawn, just out the back of the Western stand. That's your designated area. Thank you.
So as the teams make their way to the national anthem, I'll just get a quick tip from you, Nathan. Who do you think's going to win this?
Oh, mate, tough one. I think I'd love to say Scotch. My heart leans with Scotch, but I think Georgetown just might be too strong for them. So I'm hoping it'll be close. So I'll go Georgetown by 5 points.
I've got no idea, and I'll go for Old Scotch just based on the fact that you've gone for Georgetown. But players are almost in to position here for the national anthem, and the umpires, they'll play an important role today too. They've been outstanding so far in all the NTFA final series. So we're just about set for the national anthem as some of the players get a little bit closer together. They'll be real close shortly, but we're just about to go for the national anthem.
To commence our pre-game proceedings, we're very pleased to be able to introduce a couple of legends from their respective clubs competing here with us today. They're going to bring out the Premiership Cup for today that the under-18s are playing for. So would you please join me in welcoming firstly from the Georgetown Football Club, Ricky Cook, and from Old Scots, John Bales. Please make them welcome. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We'll get you line up with your respective teams. And I'd like to now invite the team captains, please, from Georgetown and Old Scotch, and invite life member of the NTFA, Jeffrey Skeggs, who's going to do the coin toss. Heads is the call from Georgetown. And Georgetown have won the toss. So Georgetown will be kicking to the city end in the first quarter. So ladies and gentlemen, if I could please ask everyone now to be upstanding for the Australian National Anthem. Thank you. Thanks very much, everyone. Good luck to both teams.
Well, what a game this is going to be. Georgetown and Old Scotch in the under-18 Premier Grand Final, and the teams getting together just for some final words from their leadership group. I'm sure they have leadership groups, etc. Even at this level, it's really important. There's one particular guy who's just having a bit of a chat there for Georgetown. That might be the captain, Reeve Harris, perhaps, who's chatting away to his troops. A really important time in a game of football. This Nathan Warren joining us on special comments. Well, thanks to Harcourt's Launceston today, but a really important time for these guys.
Yeah, it certainly is, mate. I'm just letting the goosebumps go down from that anthem. That was a cracker. The boys eyeing each other off. face to face, which is great. This is the great part of the game, the first bounce, and let's see what happens from here.
Yes, and they'll make their way to their positions, but it's an overcast day in Launceston, you'd have to say. There could be a few scuttling showers throughout. We've been pretty lucky with the weather over even last year's final series, both in the NTJFA and the NTFA in the Division 1 and also the Premier League. The weather's been pretty good. I've come here and commentated AFL games over the years, and I think we might have just struck one rainy day in all of that. It's been cool at times, but it's we've been pretty lucky with the weather and the ground. Have a look at it. It's you can play lawn bowls out there.
It's presented really well, and just on the wind, it sort of seems to be favouring the city end a little bit by looking at the windsock there. So a bit of a gale out there. I don't think it's going to, favour either side too much, but just a bit of a breeze out there to the city end. It looks like Georgetown are kicking to the city end.
Yes, they are. They won the toss, and they are going to kick to the right of your stream. Well, thanks to Round Table, we are here. Michael Maney, Nathan Warren, for the Under-18s Grand Final. The one they've all been waiting for, the one they've worked so hard to get to. And things in readiness for the Grand Final. That breeze, just looking at the windsock just off shot, it's fairly significant to the city end. So here we go in the Grand Final. Umpire's got a big job here. What can he do? Bit of pressure on him. Not too bad, just slightly to the left. Georgetown will go into attack through Ellis. And ball out wide. Might just hit the line, I would say, and a boundary throw in. So the crowd will build up as the day goes on. Pre-sold tickets for this finals grand final day, pretty strong. So hopefully people can get out, a lot of undercover seating. So Georgetown trying to work it out of half back. That was Tuttle, who number 69 there. He's got his hands in the footy. Oh, might have been a free kick off the ball. And it is a free kick to Old Scotch.
It's Charlie Crosby, left footer. Best and fairest winner for Old Scotch this year.
Crosby, that's a famous footy name. I remember Roland Crosby coaching at Devonport going back a long time ago. So we're drawing a long bow if we think he's related there. But the ball out of bounds on the outer side. It'll be a boundary throw in.
This is where the nerves need to settle, Mike, isn't it? This first bounce, there's a few nerves floating around out there. So I think once the first sort of 5 or so minutes goes out, we'll see the game open up a little bit.
And umpire just picking out a free kick. So it'll go to Old Scotch. And that is Sam Brown. So Brown goes with a kick to a contest. Almost a mark to Crosby. Now Georgetown get out of trouble. High kick into the middle. Almost a mark there to Cale Fraser. It's a big number for Ezra Whiten, number 90.
Heavy.
Very heavy. Little kick forward by Trudgeon. Here's an opportunity for Georgetown, and they can sense it too with the Polglace, who couldn't really get the handle on it, and he's disappointed with that. He just couldn't get it to bounce up, and it'll be a ball in.
Yeah, Cale Fraser that just jumped up there for Georgetown. He's a bottom ager. He was actually in our Devils program for the 16 trials. Expect him to accumulate a lot of the ball. He's had senior experience this year as well with Georgetown, so he's a player to watch.
From the ball in, a lot of players around this. Rupert McKenzie was there. And close to the line, little handball, so they might be a free kick. It's going to Georgetown, and it's going to Hayden Barrett. He kicks inside 50, and that's out of bounds on the full. So players just a few nerves at the moment, just trying to sort themselves out. Tricky breeze out there too, because it is swirling around here at UTAS, and I can see down on the opposite side the goalposts are sort of moving around a little bit, so there's a bit of breeze there.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, mate. It's probably stronger than we actually think. Like the socks up and about, and as you said, the goalposts and those nerves. We mentioned that before, so I reckon let's give it a good 10 minutes, and we might hopefully see it open up a bit.
Winspear got it away for Old Scotch. Running onto it there was Michael Innes-Smith, the man you spoke about pre-game. The kick is not the best. So Georgetown are going to take it and cut through the centre of the ground with a risky ball, but that's okay. And Joby Ellis has taken the mark for Georgetown. So Ellis goes out wide. That's a good kick. Oh, one grab and 3. Cale Fraser almost paid the mark. Nothing doing. and just didn't quite get another slice of it. Otherwise, he would have been paid the mark.
Yeah, it was a bit of a juggler, wasn't it? And you spoke about Joby Ellis there. Again, I really like him. He's a forward mid, lovely shape. He has a lot of weapons, so I expect him to take hold of this game at some stage through the day.
Mackenzie knocked it forward, but Georgetown's going to go into attack again. Just a kick around the body. Awkward one to mark. Almost taken by Winspear. Fraser, he's tackled to ground, and the umpire will call for it. So no score yet. We've gone almost 4 minutes. You'd think that Georgetown's had the most of it. It's been in their forward half of their ground for most of it. The breeze is blowing to that end. Knocked down there by Elliot Cross of Georgetown. Get around the footy. Just holding his head there was Logan Jones. He thought he might have won a free kick there, but the umpire might have just been obscured. But nothing doing there. So another ball up. There's been quite a few of those so far. Cross with the left palm down. And to have both hands to be able to do that is pretty exciting. Little kick out of half back. Beautifully done and taken away by Potter. Couldn't control it. Quick kick inside 50. Old Scotch have got some work to do here. Here's an opportunity. Little handball comes out. They can't quite get a proper handle on this ball. It's a bit of chaos work. They just dive in after it. Nothing doing, and the umpire might just call for it, Nathan.
Yeah, I spoke about Potter earlier. You can see he's run off half back. He'll use the ball well. I'm really liking the ruckman in Elliot Cross. He's really given his mids first use here. I think he's won every tap. There it is again, just over the back. So that's going to be tough for Scotch to nullify his height and athleticism.
Free kick going to Hadley. Famous footy name, Hadley. Out he goes wide. Mark taken by Bellinger, the skipper. Now to McFarlane. As you said, played in the premiership last week, a senior premiership last week. So, expecting big things from him. Kick down the wing, and that ball really holding up. You can see that, and the mark taken by Mackenzie. So Mackenzie wide on the wing, drives it in low. No one can really get any clean football out of there. Little handball comes out, working really hard as he has been as Trudgeon. Been doing it well. Quick kick forward, and it might just roll through. No, it doesn't. It rolls through for a behind, and didn't quite catch exactly who put boot to ball. Bearing in mind that I know you're not, but I'm watching these guys for the very first time. So we'll pick them up. Apologies for to the mums and dads and followers out there, but
pronunciation in names too is always a challenge sometimes.
That's going to catch me out. Don't you worry. I'll make a meal of a few of them today. But the ball goes out wide. You can see plenty of carry on it. Mackenzie just overran the footy. The ball goes inside 50. Awkward bouncing ball. Good tackle. That's nicely done there by Triffett, Kobe Triffett. He was laid out onto the ground, Triffett, I think. And there's another good tackle. So the tackling's been a real feature so far, but not any real free-flowing football. Here's Georgetown getting out of trouble. Nice little kick to the wing, just to the bootlaces there of Weaver. Now a kick inside 50 or close to inside 50. Opportunity for Crosby. Crosby's got some work to do, but he's good tackle. And he's kicked it out of bounds on the full. And Tuttle did really nicely there with the tackle.
I like the attack on the ball by Winspear there. Another kid with senior experience. He had an unfortunate leg break in the NWFL rep game, under-18 rep game down at Devonport early on in the year. But again, he's just attack on the ball, and his IQ is sensational. Sets up really well beyond the ball.
Yeah, terrific. So away they go again through Trudgeon. Now he just steadies himself and then just looks downfield. He's got a man in plenty of space. He takes the mark, and this is Jones. Jones goes inside 50, and that kick really pretty disappointing in the end, and will probably roll out of play.
Yeah, he had more time, didn't he, Logan Jones? There could have kept taking grass and really surged him inside 50.
Yeah, we saw in the AFL match last night, if you poor use of the football and poor shots on goal can cost you finals, can cost you any game. And I guess the boys have got to be pretty aware of that today.
And commiserations to all the Melbourne supporters out there. 2 years in a row, it must hurt.
Yeah, straight sets, that's not good. Here's Jones again. So he gets his kick away. This could be a mark. Oh, brilliant play by Hadley to knock that to the line. But that ball just swirling around in the breeze. It's going to be tough for the players in this early game. Hopefully that breeze does calm down a bit. So back into play. Knocked away by Sam Brown. Now away to Hadley. Hadley gets it out wide, but he's just got a little bit too much pepper on it. And it's gone out of bounds on the full.
You can see the poise in McFarlane there. A nice little handball out to Hadley. He didn't just bang it on the boot. He tried to get a little bit of width in it. It looks like he's down there too, Mike. McFarlane.
Yes. Here it goes on the mark taken. Nice in defence by Fletcher Alps. So he's got it for Old Scotch. Deep in the back pocket. So some real likely types in this game of footy. That kick just holding up in the breeze and then just floats out of play. So it'll be brought back in. Long kick, almost the mark to Jack Harris. He butters up again, Harris, gets it around the body. It's got a bit of height about it. Who can take a mark? No one. Thumped away, Crummers required. He just fell over his own boots, did McFarlane then. He's recovered. Nice little handball out. That was nicely done to Bennett. It's going to come back in. Little smother. Another chance for Georgetown. They haven't made the most of their opportunities. They've been a bit fumbly. They haven't been able to hit targets. And Old Scotch come away again through Innes Smith. The handball over the top. See that ball's been caught in the breeze even on the handball, so it's quite swirly. So you've got to really feel for the players. They haven't been able to execute their skills in these tricky conditions.
Yeah, just looking at the game here, I think Scotch are a better running team, so their forwards just come a little... If they had got out there, they had no one forward. Their forwards just have to drop anchor a little bit and just hold more corridor and forward 50.
Another opportunity there for Trudgeon. Just knocked off the kick was George Russell. Oh, that's tremendous play coming out of there by Potter. That is excellent. And then by foot. Very, very good. And finds his teammate. And that looks like it's Arnold. So Arnold goes long. Jones at the back. He ended up with a footy, then ended up getting tackled to the ground. Didn't have prior. And didn't like some of the treatment that was dished out by his opponent there in Bellinger. And it'll be a ball up.
No, he didn't. Really good again by, you mentioned Potter there. His rebounding attributes are enormous.
So, quick kick out of there by Mackenzie. Mark dropped by Barrett. Oh, that's a free kick. That's a little high. And Fraser didn't like what happened to Jones. Jones wants to play on. The umpire's now reversed it. The umpire's reversed it. And... Or has he got it? Has he reversed it? No, he's just told him to come back. I thought he had his arm pointing in the opposite direction as if he was going to pay a free kick to Old Scotch. But Jones's kick once again is disappointing. So that's something that he needs to tidy. He's getting plenty of it and getting plenty of looks, but he just needs to tidy up his foot skills.
Yeah, when that should have been top of the square there. You got a forward in Jack Harris, who's like Tony Lockett, plugger 2.0, strong overhead. It's like he's got tree sap for hands. He catches everything. We've just got to give him every chance.
Alps, a little risky ball, finds Weaver, still in the pocket, plays on. Thought he might have ran out of play there. Opportunity here for, is that Innes Smith? Kick was smothered. Now a handball over the top. Gee, they've turned it over again. They've got to try and get out. Here's McFarlane with the over-the-top handball. Oh, great tackling by Georgetown. They'll be rewarded here. That's pretty hot, I've got to say. But I think the umpire might have just had enough. Fraser came in with the tackle, and the umpire's paid the free kick. And he's going to look at a shot from about 30 metres out on a slight angle.
Yeah, great pressure by Georgetown.
No goals in this game so far. And a tricky kick from here with the swirling breeze. So, Cale Fraser. It's not his best work. He got it up and over the top. Now Bellinger comes away. That's a good kick. And it finds a man out there in Bennett. So Bennett goes on with it. And he lets himself down with the kick too. The kick was aimed at Russell. But he couldn't quite get there. And it'll be another ball in. Some pretty tough work for the boundary umpires over that side. And running into the breeze from that end too. But they've had a bit of work to do.
They have. And just unlucky there for Cale. The ball drop wasn't great. Maybe the wind took it out. It was a high ball drop, so the wind might have just taken off his boot a bit, but usually kicks it a lot better than that.
Brown and Cross, well, they can't even get to the contest. Bellinger did nicely. He's going to go with a little check side, but he was hooked around the neck. So is that coming back to him, or is it a kick downfield? Probably should have just came back to him. It was as he was kicking it. Here's a chance for Matt Russell. Now he gets around nicely. Now this is about as close as they've been, I reckon, Old Scotch. See, that kick is just really holding up in the breeze. A chance for Georgetown, because they really have to make the most of this breeze. Barrett got it away. Brown just closes in on it, the big, tall, lanky one. Tried to go the handball over the top to Piscini, and they just lay over the top of him. And I just feel that Georgetown have missed a trick here in the first quarter. 14 minutes gone. They haven't been able to score a goal, so there's a blood rule, is there? So someone's coming off with a bit of claret around the mouth. So who's that?
Hamish G.
Hamish G, is it?
Yeah, they've definitely had their chances, Georgetown. They just haven't been able to capitalise on it. They've had inside 50 a number of times. Just can't seem to hit that board just yet. So, and likewise for Scotch, a couple of times there and only a point on the scoreboard.
Well, I think most of the play's been on the outer side, which is probably where the ball is being pushed with that breeze, blowing mainly to right of screen, but obviously taking that ball to the outer side. They haven't been able to get it to the fat side and run it down Georgetown. I think that's where the money ball is, on this side of the ground.
Absolutely. If they can change angles, keep taking the ball off the line, especially Scotch with their legs, they'll be able to open this game right up. But I said before, Georgetown are probably more a long down the line, use their size to bullock through the stoppages, etc. And where if Scotch can take it off the line and open the game up, just like now. Yeah.
Well, a little kick off the ground. I think they'd feel disappointed if they can't get a goal in this first term with the breeze. But Old Scotch have been resolute in their defence. The little kick out is terrific. Now Crosby has got it. He kicks wide. Now an opportunity there for Line, and he can't haul it in. So it's been mistake riddled in the first term, but you've got to say that the conditions have played a big part in that. A bit of nerves and the conditions, tricky breeze, but one thing you can't dismiss is the endeavour, because it's been full on.
Heaps of that. Yep. And again, right on cue, Scotch took the ball off the line, and they get a decent look, sort of forward to centre. Just couldn't capitalise on the mark.
McKenzie with the fall over handball was pretty good. There's a free kick. Crosby giving that one away. As the umpire paid the free kick, I think he has. It's going to go to number 52, Chance Coghill. Or do we call him Cohill? Because
we'll go with Coghill. Yeah, we might get a text soon. And
I'll tell you a funny story about a player for Port Adelaide going back a good while. Port Adelaide player. Here's Fraser, hooked on the line. Then Jones couldn't quite take it. All knocked back into play. Nicely done. That's terrific by Cross. Cross's kick. Might have been a free kick to Weaver there. Just held on to while he was tracking the footy. No one's going to grab that footy for you, so you're going to have to get it yourself. But Weaver's been pretty good. Their whole back line has held up. McFarlane back there has also been good, and he'll take the handball. And, of course, they want it to the outer side because they know they can defend over that side, Old Scotch.
They can.
And that would be the instruction.
Archie Edwards.
Yeah. Tricky. Got away. Hoisted the kick high. Wendell just get a bit of that. And taking the mark back there is Trudgeon. He's been good for them. Back, their back line's been pretty good too, Georgetown. Battle of the back lines.
Yeah, it is. And Trudgeon, you just spoke about Trudgeon, so he plays off half back, aerobically will run the game out, and he's very neat by foot and fundamentally really clean below his knees, so expect him to play a big part as well.
Well, that ball just caught in underneath, and Kobe Trifford, he just decided just to dispose of a couple. He's a big lad.
He's a big boy, isn't he?
He's got a bit of muscle for an under-18 player. Here we go. Kick was smothered, and that was Barrett, who tried to get on the left, but ticked into almost 18 minutes in this first term. So Brown's put the hand up in the ruck, and he's going to go against Cross. Brown knocked it down, but no one could take it away. McKenzie was cruising on by, but couldn't collect it. Little half-distance kick. Fraser just hovering over the footy. Now he needs to get it into reverse. Did nicely on his non-preferred, I think, or was that his preferred, his right foot.
He's a right footer.
Yep. Crosby, he's had a bit of it so far. Crosby can't quite collect under enormous pressure. Well done by Georgetown as they get it away. Quick little kick might just open up for them here. They want to hurry because quarter time is soon. McFarlane just hovering at the back. Got a neat little handball, a handball of sorts over the top, looking for Hamish G. He got collected. Now getting his boot on it was Matt Russell. Opportunity there was for Knowles. He couldn't collect the footy. Knowles goes back in after it again. Nice little handball out there by Potter of Georgetown. No one can really grab this ball. It's just pinging around like a pinball in a machine at the moment. No one can. It's as if it's really, really slippery, but it's just the conditions.
Well, the rain's starting. It's just a bit of drizzle out there now, Mike.
Okay, there is too.
Sort of drifting across the window here, and so it will spit around a bit, this ball on the ground.
Yeah, it's been tough enough for them already. Braden Arnold got his kick away. McFarlane's got to attack this ball and did it beautifully, athletically too. A bounce and then drives it inside 50. Gee, a goal to Old Scotch here would really put a dagger in the heart. Here's Trudgeon, who's been terrific so far. Awkward kicking style, but gets the job done. Just hits it on the breeze. Nice ball over the top. Jones has got to run onto this and didn't really take possession, but got caught. No free kick. Racing out of there was Passini. He got mobbed. McFarlane's got an opportunity there with Crane. That's a famous Georgetown name, Crane. Trudgeon, he's been forced right down the ground. Mackenzie for Old Scotch squeezes the kick out and finds Matt Russell, and there it is. Quarter time in the grand final of the NTFA under-18s. And to say it's low scoring would be a gross underestimate. It's one behind to Old Scotch, and Georgetown have no score. So Old Scotch with this they have a lead, but let's face it, it's a point. But your thoughts, Nathan Warren, on that first quarter of football?
Yeah, again, Mike, we spoke about the backlines. Both backlines are holding up really well. You know, Trudgeon and Dan Potter across half-back for Georgetown, and Old Scotch with McFarlane and where is he? Oliver Hadley, rebound intercept defender there. So, it's sort of not anyone's at the moment. It's 50-50 game as we call it.
Yeah.
And two sort of different styles with the bang crash of Georgetown. And I'd just like to see Old Scotch use their polish a bit better and keep taking the ball off the line and challenging Georgetown to defend.
It was a battle of the back lines, and Old Scotch got it in, and they were able to score a behind. But it is quarter time here in the under-18s NTFA Grand Final between Georgetown and Old Scotch, brought to you by Harcourt's Roundtable Studios, doing all the streaming for us. It's quarter time at UTAS.
Harcourt's, more than just real estate professionals.
It's a state of mind. Dreaming big, unearthing possibilities, identifying potential. We Tasmanians thrive on this. It's what makes us different. It's what drives us to succeed. Together, we can embrace the future. MCMF and us. A state of opportunity.
Hi, I'm Ray Chamberlain, and here are the top reasons why you should become an AFL umpire. You love intellectual conversations.
I know you're not. No, I said. And you said no.
Everybody knows you need help with your anger management issues.
We don't talk to one another like that. What? It's okay.
You just can't keep up with the young ones any longer.
He's run down.
Because you like to get paid to keep fit.
Blow your whistle, show your decision, show your good strong signals, then get on your bike and go.
It's the best game in the world.
Welcome back to UTAS Stadium as the players break from their quarter-time huddles, and it is a 1-point lead to Old Scotch. I think a scrambled goal behind. I think I'm not sure who even kicked it in that first quarter, but they lead Georgetown by a solitary behind. Georgetown having the assistance of what could be described as a 3-4 goal breeze. You would have thought it certainly looked that way, but Old Scotch, Nathan Warren did a terrific job of being able to use the outer side of the ground and defend, and that caused Georgetown all sorts of problems.
Yeah, what they are, Mike, I think they're patient in their back half, Old Scotch. You know, they've got the senior experience of Ollie McFarlane back there, and Hadley's got a really level head on him. You know, doesn't make bad decisions. He'll take time when needed, or he'll just put it out to the wide spaces where someone can run onto it. So I think I like their back line a little bit. Trudgeon and Dan Potter are doing great, but they probably just can pull back a little bit and just slow up. It doesn't have to be go fast all the time.
Need a bit more there from Triffett, because he'll be a part of that back line in this quarter. So, yeah, Potter, he impresses me, Potter. Just from the little bits that I saw him in that first quarter, he looks to be a real player. So a lot of them out there too. Bellinger and co. I could go on, but there's some talent in this game. So we're about to get underway with thanks to Harcourts, Launceston, wonderful sponsors of this roundtable, bringing you the live stream. Michael Maney and Nathan Warren with you in the commentary box, just waiting for the players to work their way in. Now the boundary umpire has notified the...
Not sure what he's called
here, Mike. Is that a boundary umpire or is that a senior umpire? I think that's one of the central umpires. But let's go. Second quarter underway. Brown knocks it down. Well, that was a throw by Mackenzie, not picked up by the umpire. High ball, didn't go 15. A lot of courage in that leap. Trudgeon comes through and gets nailed. So, an Old Scotch goal or two might sound a warning bell to Georgetown. Brown knocks it down but couldn't get it to Mackenzie. It might find it in a second or two. Could have been a free kick to Ellis there for Georgetown as they just dive in on the foot. I guess the umpires have got to be careful about players diving today. I mean, it's a desperate stakes game, and you don't want to be paying silly free kicks for guys just playing for them.
No, the umpiring's been quite good, I think, this first part. They're letting it go a bit where they can.
Yeah, I agree. They've been very, very good. Right throughout this the final series over the last almost month in juniors and also in senior competition. So another ball up. Old Scotch in familiar territory here if you're kicking to right of screen. Little kick out there, nicely done by Ellis. Well done by McFarlane, just backed himself, gets away, throws it on the boot. It's a long spiralling kick and almost a mark down there to Lynn. Couldn't quite get it. He might get another opportunity here in a second or two. Trudgeon's in there as he's been in everything, Trudgeon, so far. And it is about 15 metres out from Old Scotch's goal. Up they go. Cross, little snap. That was by Briggs, but the big man in Kobe Triffett was right there.
I've spoken about him a bit, Ollie McFarlane. He looks really dangerous with ball in hand. Like that just opened the game right up there. Scotch couldn't capitalise on it as Charlie Crosby takes a mark inside 50.
Yes, not a good kick from Triffett. And Crosby in the right place at the right time. And
left footer too, Mike, so he's on his right, he's on his good side, so, and he's a nice set shot.
We saw Fraser have a shot from here for Georgetown, but he was a little further infield. But here's Crosby. He's got a good leg on him, and he's got it behind. He's just hooked it. And so they go to a couple of behinds now, Old Scotch. So Triffett looking to do a little bit better with this next kick. So he decides to go the long option. Bellinger caught in the tackle. Fraser was the man underneath all that.
Bellinger's actually from Forest Stanley, Mike. He's
yes,
he
that's a
boards
good
at the
old
school.
Smithton name, isn't
Absolutely. He's the captain of the side, and he's just a no fuss. He's hard as a goat's head. He'll leads his side really well.
it? Triffitt's another Smithton name, as Ellis goes long, and getting back is Hadley.
Reads the ball really well, Hadley,
Yep.
in that back half.
Yep, he just looks a player, doesn't he? And McFarlane, well, he's been in everything so far. McFarlane plays on,
That's a nice kick.
drills down the line. Might be a free kick rather than a mark. The umpire's just going to haul that back as Archie Edwards decided to get on with it. So this will be Briggs. Long kick at the back. Potter did nicely. Handball was elite. Trudgeon, another kick to him. Out wide, Fraser on the fingertips, because there's that little misty rain might have stopped now. So just a little, we'll get a scuttle or two in the shower department today. Fraser goes to the wing. McFarlane couldn't take it. Just roving it off the back of the pack was Barron. So Old Scotch about to go into attack again. Handball over the top, but Fraser is right there. So probably load up on down half back, you would say, Georgetown. And the mark's been taken by Whiten. So Whiten, oh, that's a risky business kick into the centre. Might come off, or if it doesn't, they will hurt you. Kick was just smothered off the boot. Oh, nice body work. That was terrific work. Nicely done by Archie Edwards. The kick let him down, though. And it is out of play. That was just beautiful body work by Edwards.
Yeah, he's got some tricks, Archie. He used his body really well to put his defender off the ball and open his range up. Really good.
So, as predicted, most of the play will be at this end of the ground, the city end. As Georgetown won the toss and kicked to the city end with a breeze, but they couldn't make the most of it. They couldn't even score. Bit of a loose boot by Lynn there. Lynn back in after it again, but that ball is caught. And Trudgeon trying to say he tried to fend off. And if you try to fend off, that's curtains for you. But the umpire didn't see it that way, and we've got another blood rule. So this is time. It's Lynn who's got a head from the field. Just got to wait until that transition happens. Gives Old Scotch a chance to make another interchange or two.
Yeah, I like the idea earlier of Georgetown trying to bring it in board, but they've gone to a one-on-one.
Yep.
So they come in there, dangerous place to turn over, which they did, and Scotch had another look at it inside 50.
They just need a little bit more run of their half-backs to sort of get into position and get a 2-on-1.
Yeah, or get a handball received from behind, but there was just no one there to give him a hand.
No, well, low scoring, but fascinating as the teams really sort of gear up. Brown in the ruck against Cross. Brown knocks it down. Little hook kick nicely done by Hawkins. And Triffitt might...
he's tried to claim.
I think he's claimed that.
I think he sold it.
Yeah, he's got a future as a sales rep somewhere. Oh, that's a tremendous mark by Potter. Just running with the flight of the ball, took a mark and was clean as well. The kick not so good. Opportunity here for Russell. Russell is ditched. And that will be a free kick.
Cale Fraser again. Yeah. He's just tenacious at his tackling. He really has a crack. He's only a 16-year-old. He may only still be 15.
Well, he's got a good future ahead of him. He kicks to the wing and kicks to a pack situation. No free kicks in there. Bellinger got the arms free in the end. Hovering over the ball there was Reeve Harris, the vice captain, but it'll be in the umpire's hands. So Cross and Brown, and just getting in there was the number 9, Hayden Barrett. Go early with the tattoos, the boys these days. No mucking around. Just get me into that parlour.
Get them for birthday presents at Georgetown.
Yeah, as soon as I come of age, I'm inking up. Little handball over the top. That was by Thomas Hawkins, but it ended up with Barrett. Little squeezing kick forward. Nicely done. Beautifully trapped by Piscini, who then got a kick to the wing. No mark. A lot of players around this footy. And in goes Archie Edwards again. You boys with the long sleeves out there wouldn't impress Alistair Clarkson too much.
No, there's a few on the Scotch side of things, isn't there?
Yes, there is. Here's Barrett again, and got the kick away. That was nicely done in the end. Joby Ellis couldn't quite hook it for Georgetown, but here's an opportunity through Polglace. Got the kick away. Jones in there. Bellinger close in hand, and Polglace takes him to the line, and they just want to puff the chest out, the boys. Bit of
testosterone.
Yeah, just ripping a bit of that stuff out.
It's just played between the arcs here at the moment.
Yeah.
No one's really getting any clear dominance on the quarter so far.
No, you're dead right. Well, you've got to say that Georgetown have defended pretty well in this quarter. No free kick. That was almost against Tayshon Crane for Georgetown. Game of inches here at the moment. Barrett threw it on the boot. Chaos ball. Might just work okay. Little handball out. Nicely done there by Alps. Now to Weaver. Just a little handball over the top to himself. Alps has just got to keep on going.
He's done really well there, Mike.
Yeah, he did. Terrific. Crosby, normally good in these situations. Can't quite get away here. Well done by Johnson. That's Tyrrell Johnson. Kicks it out wide. And as they have done, most players today let themselves down by foot in the tricky conditions. But it's really hard for them. As we tick into 9.5, just the one score in this quarter, which is behind to Old Scotch. The leader by a couple of points. Michael Maney and Nathan Warren with you, and round table bringing you all the pictures here from UTAS Stadium. Trudgeon, he'll get it back here in the old 1-2, then squeeze the kick, and nicely done. He's had a couple of good minutes as Alps.
Certainly has.
Defending well, and then gets it out and finds Dick. Rory Dick, sliding attempt. Potter was there. Trudgeon ever present. That left boot gets him every time. Wobbly old ball, but that's nicely done to Fraser. Now they've got to build something here. They've got someone running through the centre of the ground. The kick was absolutely brilliant to Ellis. Now he just gets it over the top. This might be an opportunity here for Reeve Harris. Now he's got to try and track back on this. Did okay. McFarlane hassling him out of it, but Harris did okay. Hooked it around the body. Here's a chance for Jones. But once again, nicely done by Alps. McFarlane now gets them out of trouble. Down the line, that ball's going to go 60, 70 metres with on that breeze. Big opportunity there for Hawkins, but he couldn't quite collect it. And then nicely done by Hicks, who gets it to the line, and it will be a boundary throw-in. But, some defending there by Old Scotch.
You've mentioned his name a few times there. Alps has had a real purple patch in the last sort of 5 minutes and really held off Georgetown going inside 50 there a few times.
Hasn't been much in the ruck today between Cross and Sam Brown. That ball does amazing things. That football can bounce in any direction.
It's the best thing about the sport, mate.
It is. It's almost constantly in dispute when it's bouncing. You just never know what you're going to get. So a couple of behinds to Old Scotch. We'll have to get someone to go out and ring the bell in a minute when someone kicks a goal. It'd be really something to savour. Trudgeon came through. Nicely done there by Tyrrell Johnson. Tried to get it over the top. Followed it up beautifully. Now Trudgeon again. That left foot kick, Hadley. Gee, Potter, Hadley, doing a wonderful job at both ends of the ground for their teams. Into the middle. Mark was dropped there by Dick. A little squeezing handball out. So Georgetown this time have to really defend. Cross with a kick into the middle, and mark taken by Piscini. So all your half backs and full-back line really pushing up. Hadley goes with a real ball burster inside 50. Trudgeon couldn't take it. All in dispute. Trudgeon, he's got to get it out of there. You can't just get in and hook it in and lay over it. And Percy Bennett, the number 25, the last man to get up for Old Scotch.
Great run from behind there by Ollie Hadley. Got the handball received, called it, and just got it forward. And I think that's all Scotch need, because they look dangerous when the ball gets on the ground. But as Georgetown propelled that one out, though.
Cross. Jones used the body on Hadley, but Hadley was good enough to go back, and then Jones came in with a tackle, and guess who? Fraser. He doesn't mind a bit of body contact and a tackle or two as they scruff hold of Jones and get him out of there. He's a wild sort of a character, Jones, isn't he?
Yeah, they're brothers, Ollie Jones and Logan Jones. Ollie Jones has got the knee brace on. He got a really bad, ruptured his ACL, so sat all last year out of football. And again, he's only a 17-year-old, but nice big-bodied mid-forward type.
Yeah, so we've been calling Logan Jones most of the time, the number 32, because he's been in everything. Quick squeezing kick out of there was by Tayshon Crane, and now the mark's been taken by the number 90 in Whiten.
Oh, they paid a free kick here. Free kick in the middle of the ground, number 60 for Georgetown. Wanted to go on with it in Polgase.
So is it who's got the
Bellinger's
free
kick?
So it's Bellinger's free kick, is it?
Yep.
All right, so Bellinger's going to go the big barrel. Yeah, it's got a bit of mongrel about it. Up it goes. Flicks over the back. Now Potter's got some work to do, but I think he's smart enough to see this to the line. Had a bit of momentum on the footy as well, and it'll be a ball in.
Yeah, just a little bit of a fracas went on in the centre of the ground there, and Polgase just got a little bit heated and threw Bellinger to the ground, and the umpire saw it and can't do that.
No. Ticking into 14 and a half minutes in the second term. Got a soccer score at the moment, 2-0. High ball by Hicks of Georgetown, and the pack gather. And the boundary umpires are doing some work today, particularly on that outer side. Let's hope they swapped after that first term. They run out of puff halfway through the third.
So he gets the far side.
So here we go. Who can score a goal? This might just start a raffle on that.
Well, Scotch have definitely. There's been more lot down Scotch's end this quarter, but they just can't seem to get it through.
Yes, it's been one of those. Well, just your typical. Well, not a typical spring day, but it's turned back into winter for us. Here's an opportunity for Russell. Russell goes long. This is the best chance. Oh, this could be a goal. It is. It's been kicked by Knowles. And Knowles gets the first goal of the game, would you believe, at the 15, almost 16-minute mark of the second term.
And the first double cobber of the game too in the celebration, Mike.
Yes. Well, the ball hit the square. The ball hit the square nice and high. It was central. It wasn't pushed into the pockets. It was in a really dangerous spot, in a hot spot. And then Knowles just happened to be right place, right time and squeezed it through.
Yeah, he was full of the ball there. He just stayed right front of the pack there. I think his opponent sort of went past him a little bit and, got the reward from just staying on the ground.
So Knowles gets the first goal of the game. An 8-point lead is sort of like a 35-point lead in some ways. But Oliver Knowles with the first of the grand final. Georgetown with some work to do here. Trudgeon gets it away to Jones. That was Logan Jones. And
his brother.
That might have come off his boot too, I think, just as he was fumbling that ball. And Logan Jones has unfortunately just got a little ankle on it and has given away the free kick. Heavily strapped on both knees. That's terrible for a young guy to have strapping like that on your knees at an early age.
Yeah, he did his ACL when he was 16, Mike.
Yeah, terrible. Beautiful mark by Ellis. So Georgetown will be stung by that goal. This will really rip them into gear. He plays on and kicks it high. Hadley gets over the back. Here's Fraser. Fraser might run into an open goal, and wouldn't you know it, starved of goals. And all of a sudden we've got two within about a minute and a half.
Yeah, and similar type, front and centre.
Yep. Good reward for Fraser.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I forgot to put the score on the live stream.
Right, don't worry about that. As long as we long as we actually know what's going on. But here's a couple of points again to Old Scotch. And, well, Georgetown, you could see they really pushed hard, didn't they?
Yeah, well, I really liked him popping up. I've been waiting for him to pop up there in Alice. He's a nice size, drives his legs, got the ball in, and it just shows once you get the ball inside 50, your little fellas keep the ground, and Fraser, who's had a terrific half so far, gets a reward.
Yep, no doubt about that. A couple of minutes to go in the second term, and we've got a goal fest.
We have, Mike. Goal for goal.
Goal for goal. Little kick out of there. Old Scotch would want to try and get that one back. Great tackle down there by Barrett. And in they go again through Edwards. And it'll be a ball up. Today's NTFA Premier Division Grand Finals brought to you by Jeremy Wilkinson, Harcourt's Launceston. And best agent for the last 5 years.
One of the best in the business, Jezza.
Yeah. And for the last 5 years running, that is quite incredible. So Barrett, who's on the lip at the moment, pushes out of screen, and Logan Jones has got the free kick. Goes out wide. That's a good kick. This is what they haven't been doing, as Tayshan Crane takes it, strapping on his knee as well. Hadley trying to get into the contest, angled his way through. Little handball, Piscini. Tayshan Crane followed it up. Trudgeon, well, he just happens to be everywhere. Now he's handballing to McFarlane. Up goes Potter, just flicks over the back. Nice defence by Georgetown, and getting it away there was Alex Triffett, but he's turned it over. Crosby, he's got to get rid of this. Didn't really have much of a chase, but Logan Jones gets back. In fact, no, it's he's got it's Chance Coghill who did it nicely. He's got a nice crop of hair and a headband, and his kick's not all that flash, but he's got a bit of elevation, but Potter couldn't quite make it good. Cross.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, kept it in. Mark taken, and could have been a 50-metre penalty there. And Oscar Winspear. They need a mark here, right now. Almost. Little handball comes out. And that should be half-time.
You called it, Mike.
Wow, we might have been a few seconds over time there, but that's okay. It is half-time in this grand final of the NTFA Under-18s. And don't forget, today's NTFA Premier Division Grand Finals proudly brought to you by Jeremy Wilkinson, Harcourt's Launceston, Tasmanian Agent of the Year 5 years running, MCMF, Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund, Launceston and Hobart, and the Athlete's Foot, Brisbane Street, Launceston, for all your sports footwear needs. And the score at half-time is Old Scotch 1-2-8, Georgetown 1-6. Goal kickers for Georgetown, Carl Fraser has a single, and for Old Scotch, Oliver Knowles has a single. Nathan Warren, your thoughts on that first half of footy?
It was, as you mentioned, she was a goal fest there, Mike. About 15 minutes, 15 minutes into the half, we saw our first goal, and then about 2 minutes later, we saw our second one in Georgetown. So, just some players that I'm really liking. We've spoken a lot. Terrific quarter there was Elps off half back. He had a real purple patch for about 10 minutes through that quarter. McFarlane, we've spoken a lot about. Hadley, great intercept mark and doesn't waste it. And Bellinger, that hard, big-bodied mid, no fuss. And I'm just waiting for the little pop-up sprinkler to get going. He nearly had a little moment there with about 5 seconds to go. And don't worry, he'll pop up at times. And then Fraser, really good for Georgetown, along with Trudgeon. And I spoke about Ellis. I was waiting for him to do something. He didn't really set that goal up there in that half. So we've got a game on our hands here, Mike. 2 points in it. And looking forward to the second half.
Yes, certainly have. And, of course, this grand final is on the line. 1-2-8 Old Scotch at half-time. Lead Georgetown, 1 goal straight 6. We'll be back after these messages for the second half.
Harcourts, more than just real estate professionals.
It's a state of mind. Dreaming big, unearthing possibilities, identifying potential. We Tasmanians thrive on this. It's what makes us different. It's what drives us to succeed. Together, we can embrace the future. MCMF and us. A state of opportunity.
Hi, I'm Ray Chamberlain, and here are the top reasons why you should become an AFL umpire. You love intellectual conversations.
I know you're not. No, I said. And you said no.
Everybody knows you need help with your anger management issues.
We don't talk to one another like that. What? It's okay.
You just can't keep up with the young ones any longer.
It's run down.
Because you like to get paid to keep fit.
Blow your whistle, show your decision, show your good strong signals, then get on your bike and go.
It's the best game in the world.
Welcome back to UTAS Stadium, where we've got a tight grand final in the under-18s in the NTFA, and it is Old Scotch 1-2-8 leading Georgetown the one straight goal. And goal at the 16-minute mark. The first of the game was kicked by Knowles of Old Scotch. And then, you wouldn't believe it, about a minute later, it was the first goal to Georgetown, kicked by Cale Fraser. So it is a really tight grand final. A few showers, bit of swirly breeze, but Nathan Warren with me, Michael Maney, in commentary, with thanks also to Roundtable Studio and also the one of the big sponsors of the NTFA in Harcourts, and particularly Jeremy Wilkinson, who has been the Tasmanian Agent of the Year for the last 5 years running. And Nathan, you've been down, had a bit of a listen to Old Scotch, perhaps, and what's the theme down there?
Yeah, I didn't run down, Mike. I had quite a brisk walk down there.
Beautiful.
But got the catch the end of both speeches. But Aidan Jackman, coach of Scotch, wants to see more out of his half forwards. They're really good at the contest. Their mids, are working their backsides off in there. But it's a four-quarter game. He doesn't want them to lapse and get complacent in the four quarters. And then for Georgetown, they like it chaotic. It's chaotic at times, and that suits their DNA. That's what they like. And they've just they need a bit of a lift in the second half, is what the coaches from Georgetown were after. So I think we're in for a cracker of a second half, Mike.
Yeah, I think Georgetown need to make the most of their opportunities kicking with this breeze. Both teams haven't really done that. And the breeze alone cannot do it. You need to have some sort of system, and both teams kicking to right of screen need to get it out here on the fat side and the broadcast side and try and work it in from there, because it does become a little easier to score. But sometimes those kicks have been missing targets through the middle of the ground when they've tried to weave it across.
Yeah, well, it showed when Georgetown did bring it to the fat side of the ground, as they call it, they scored. Yep. Joby Ellis got his hands on it, put it inside 50, and Cale Fraser got the rewards from it. Scotch's, on the other hand, was more a surge, front and centre type sneaky goal.
So we're about to get underway in the second half here from UTAS Stadium in the NTFA Under-18s Grand Final. And underway. Both the ruckman. Well done to Brown. Brown kicks it, not quite inside 50, but a nice little hook on, beautifully done by Goldschmidt. And the umpire, he's going to ball it up.
Just looking for anything structural here. It looks like both teams have stayed as status quo with the first half. There hasn't been anyone thrown in any other position here at the moment.
Crosby got the handball away. Brown with a tackle on his opposite ruckman in cross, and they'll stand tall and contest the ruck. Cross got this down. No one can collect it. Winspear was there. Little kick inside 50. Triffett. Now a handball. Just missing a few targets at the moment. Beautifully done. Swinging around was Long. And Fraser. Been everywhere so far in this game. Been a terrific player. So Fraser goes to a pack situation. It carries the pack. McFarlane's got some work to do. And Jones has got him. And I reckon that's ball.
Ooh, well, he had his hands free, didn't he, Mike? He could have probably got rid of that. So, yeah, he's been lucky there.
Yeah, that was Lux of Fortune for McFarlane. Benefit of the doubt. Cross. Down to Jones. Now Trudgeon, who's caught in the tackle.
I'm really liking Cruss's tap work. His palm work's really good. He's given Jones and alike their mids first use. They just can't seem to get it on the out there and capitalise on it.
Yes, as a ruckman, you've got to have eyes everywhere. Because you need to look skyward, and then you also have to know really quickly at your feet where your players are, and there's an art in that. It's a more difficult thing to do. Then you've got to also brace for contact.
Absolutely.
So it's a tough job being a ruckman, no doubt about that. So Brown tried to reach over the top. I think Cross got the main part of that. And then
called over the shoulder.
Yep, so Barrett, I think it is, has got the free. The kick inside 50, almost a mark. Nothing doing. Around the body. And it is a behind. Was that Jack Harris?
Yeah, I spoke about him earlier. With the game I watched down at Bridgenorth, you would have thought his hands were coated in tree sap. He wasn't dropping anything, but he's dropped a couple today. And I think once he starts getting his hands on it, it could be a different story.
Yeah, well, once again, that ball got to this side of the ground and they had an opportunity. So Old Scotch will want to keep it on the outer side. And Cross dropped what he should have taken. Winspear just jammed it on the boot. Triffett got back. Nice little easing ball, but he's turned it over. And Goldschmidt has got the mark in the centre of UTAS as they all run forward. Nice little chipping ball. That's okay. And finds line. He's got them running, and Goldschmidt's in a little bit of space, but he just holds up and then waits to kick beautifully. And that's nicely done. And the man who's kicked a goal already, in Oliver Knowles, has got it. Not sure that he's got the journey today. I reckon if there was a calm day, he might just get the distance here, but he fancies himself.
Yeah, Line just held up there and just waited for something to present there, and Knowles just popped out, and the great kick to advantage for Knowles.
He's going to have to really wind up from here. He's got a reasonable piece of it. It's got a big fly. Triffett did nicely, just got it out of there with a quick kick, and the handball just missed. And in they go again.
The pop-up's getting lively up there.
Yep. Barrett's just hack kick out of there. Brown just below his knees was terrific, but then the tackle just nailed him. And he didn't like it too much. And Trudgeon was the man who got him. And Trudgeon will get the free kick by his tackling, just his trapping of the ball, and the way he's gone about it today. Trudgeon's been terrific for Georgetown. He kicks long, but he doesn't kick too well, and McFarlane just got back in the hole. Now he's off to the races here, McFarlane. Now goes in short. That's terrific, and finds his teammate
if he can
Briggs.
get this forward. They've got a 2-on-1. Sorry for cutting in.
Yeah,
Mike,
that's all right.
If they get this forward here.
That's okay. Triffett. Gee, they've got the numbers there, Old Scotch. Can they make it happen here? Little handball comes out. Briggs, round the body.
Well done.
It could be a goal. It is. Scotch get a second. Jack Briggs gets a second goal for Old Scotch. Well, nice bit of work. They had the numbers, and they had them at the fall of the ball, and they got the ball inside 50 quickly.
Absolutely. It just goes to show if you can roll quick and you can get that out number up forward from an offensive standpoint, it goes to show you'll score pretty much all the time. And I'm right like Mikey and Smith. He's starting to get lively. He went for a hanger there, the little fella. And, I said before, don't be fooled by his size. He really, really cracks in.
So Briggs gets his first at the 5-minute mark of this grand final. She is game on here, no doubt about that. So looks like someone from Old Scotch has gone in. There might have been Crosby entered the square a little quickly.
I think you're right.
The arms are flailing here everywhere with the umpire, but I think Cross is going to take the free kick. There's just wanting players to push out of the way for some bizarre reason. But anyway, going to go long. Up they fly. Hadley couldn't take the mark, but just held his ground beautifully. Trudgeon tries to smash his way through, but it'll be a ball up.
I think I've just noticed a positional change. It looks like Trudgeon's gone forward of the ball. He's not playing off half back now. He's playing pretty much as a half forward. So there's one change that I see that Georgetown may have made.
Get your best players around the footy. He's having a day, so you get him around the football. Cross down. McFarlane trying to get through. Jones, that's Oliver Jones. And he just basically handed it to Jack Harris. A lot of players around the football. It's inside 50, Georgetown in attack. Little kick out. And Jones again. Sort of watch those knees.
He's just trying to bull his way. He's a big boy, isn't he? He's just trying to... If he drives his legs, it'll be hard to pull down.
No doubt. Little handball squeezed out of there. Just found a bit of space there. Nicely done by Tuttle. And his kick is chopped off. And it has been taken by Weaver. Oh, Weaver has committed a sin there. And now it'll be Session Tuttle from a horror pocket. And you can't quite see. You might be able to see on our stream the goalposts are blowing around here. And he's got to hold his nerve here, Tuttle. This will be an outstanding kick. If you draw it back, what a kick!
Yeah, he started that well.
What a kick, the old left to right drop punt. He sat it up and the breeze took care of the rest. That is an outstanding kick. And once again, we get a goal at the 5-minute mark. This time it's taken an extra minute to get a goal from Georgetown to reply. But Georgetown 2-1-13, trailing Old Scotch 2-2-14. And, wow, what a kick.
Oh, he just sat out in front of the left goal post there, and the wind just did all the work. And we were right behind it here. It was a great set shot.
It certainly was. So, Old Scotch now by just the one behind. What a kick by Tuttle. His first of the game.
Goal for goal again, Mike.
Yes. So Cross just gets a long bouncing ball. Here's Logan Jones. Oh, got one high, I think. Hadley might have not quite got low enough. And Jones, who wasn't getting those free kicks early and wants to play on, but the umpire, a little bit pedantic, and just said, well...
I think he should have been... He was behind the mark.
Well, he's gone long, and that's not the best kick in the world, but what he's done, he's levelled up the scores. They're both 2-2-14. So Jones really getting busy. Bellinger told to play on, and this ball is getting close to the line. It's going to stay in crazily. Here's your man.
He's me man.
There he is. He's trying very, very hard. Is Michael Ennis-Smith, the little number 26. You just feel that he's sitting back. He's like a little firecracker. They haven't lit him yet.
Well, he has he's 15 turning 16, so he's again a bottom ager in this age group.
Here's Fraser.
This guy.
He's had plenty of it. Fraser hoists it high. Jones, Oliver Jones, quick handball, Trudgeon.
Yeah, well done.
And away they go again. Oh, brilliant tackle. That is outstanding. The umpire didn't reward him for that, as nailed in the tackle was Polglace, and the tackler was Alps. And I'm not really sure. They've missed a trick there. You've got to reward that stuff, otherwise we just don't tackle at all.
They're not going to get them all right, Mike, but
No.
yeah, certainly was. He was Alps was fantastic there. Should have been rewarded.
Well, we've been pretty complimentary of the umpiring right through this series. That one's gone out of play, but that looked every bit of a free kick, but there's not much point dwelling on that, Nathan, is there? We just need to keep on moving on.
That's right. Control what you can control, as they say.
And we got no control.
No, we got none.
We might think we have, but we're not control, we're chaos. So up it goes again. Scores locked away at 2-2-14. What a game it's been. Even though it's been low scoring, it's been interesting. Here's Trudgeon. He gets swung, then gets the handball away. This might be okay. Or it could be a little banana.
No.
Oh, that's incredible.
Oh, no.
That is incredible from Sashin Tuttle. A crazy kick from there. He drove one through from about 40 metres out on a slight angle. He loves that end of the ground, and he got it right. That's his second, and Georgetown lead by a goal.
He does, and he's just popped up there in the space of 5 minutes, kicked 2 goals. But what sort of got it there was, I think it was Ollie Jones, the guy I've been speaking about off the ACL, a really neat little handball out of congestion. Just got it out to the open part of the stoppage, and Tuttle, with some magic, got the goal.
Crazy stuff. So Tuttle gets his second and pulls the scoreline to 3-2-20 to 2-2-14. Up we go again. Brown really trying to lift his side. Mackenzie sort of floated out of the game a little bit, was prominent early. This bloke hasn't. Trudgeon gets another kick. Wobbles it to the centre of the ground. Jones couldn't quite get there. Just Barrett ducked his head. Fraser wants to run onto this. Russell's there. Fraser held his ground. Handball forward. Crosby cruises away. Didn't have a right boot there because he's natural left footer, and he's gone with a ugly old looking check side reverse something.
Mongrel punt, as they say.
Yeah, you've got to be careful how you say that.
You do.
And it is a boundary throw in on the wing on the outer side, with Georgetown slightly in attack, you'd have to say. Brown down to Russell, who can't get through, and the tackle from Tyrrell Johnson, I should say. 6 points the margin in the grand final. Brown just to his bootlaces. Russell, Mackenzie tries to get out of there. Ellis. It's a stalemate. Well, could the work of Tuttle be the difference in this game? A couple of goals in this quarter. Trudgeon tries to ride the tackle, and the umpire said, well, you tried to fend off. It was a bit of a half fend off too. So the free kick will go to Archie Edwards. They need a lift from him.
Yeah, he's been quite quiet for the game. I don't know if he's moved up onto the wing or not now.
Line, put the head down and won a free kick for high. So Lynn has got it, said, come to me. A little kick into space, but reading it beautifully was Tayshan Crane. So Crane's little hammering ball to the wing. Mackenzie's got to get involved in here. Trudgeon just said, get out of my way. In comes Fraser. Fraser with a nice clean pair of heels and a beautiful leg. The mark was dropped. Now picking it up was Reeve Harris. He's been nailed. Just a little slow there, Harris. And a good tackle coming in from Antipas. So Antipas with interesting hairdo. Gets it out. They don't mind it these days, the guys. They'll get into anything. Here's Bellinger just foxing in front. They lay over the top of him.
Fraser's hurt here, Mike. Fraser's going for that marking contest. He's come up ginger on holding his ankle, but he seems to be hobbling. They don't want to lose him. That's for sure.
No, he's been a real driving force. Both he and Trudgeon have been their best players in this game so far. We've got to pick a winner of the best on ground too, Nathan. So you've got to keep a close eye on this. Antipas couldn't take it. Here's Fraser. He's recovered okay. And he had it spent before he got there, I think, did Ellis. And then the kick out of bounds on the full.
Well, lucky I've been taking notes, Mike. You let me know in the third
notice
quarter.
you're a good note taker. We should be great to have a shot of that. But
I don't know about that. I got it on my hands from half time. I forgot to take paper down with me.
Preparation. So the man who had a real purple patch in the second term was Fletcher Alps, and he's got the relieving kick here. So not his best kick. Russell just ran under the footy. Got a fingertip on it. And the umpire's paid a free kick. And it's going to go to Passini.
So that kick there from Alps, I'd rather see Scotch go backwards and on a backward 45 and then out to the other side of the ground.
Yeah.
Because I think they'll beat them with their legs that they got through that half-back line.
Yeah. But it's been a scrambly affair. There hasn't been a lot of quality stuff out in the open today, but that's a grand final for you. It's been a real arm wrestle. Brown in the ruck, knocks it down. Ellis was there. Quick little handball over the top. Here's little Innes, couldn't quite get there. Mackenzie with a brilliant tackle, not rewarded. Anti-pass there, and it'll be a ball in. Anti-pass does the right thing and hurls it back to the boundary umpire in good spirit.
And Fraser has gone off, Mike, so he's obviously in with the trainers at the moment.
Yeah,
so I'll keep an eye on that.
Let's hope he can do something. Little squeezing ball out there by Rory Dick. Kick forward. It could be done. Line has taken the mark in front of Triffett. Thought about going on with it, but maybe he just thinks, I reckon I can get the journey here. Or has he got someone floating down? He has. It's a good-looking kick, and the mark's been taken by Winspear, who just ran into space, and that's what we've been calling for. Get and run into space, and you'll be rewarded.
So he's a defender, and he's just pushed up, got dangerous. I said before he's got a great footy IQ, and he obviously saw that he was unchecked and just got inside 50 in a rear. And I'm not going to give him the commentator's curse, but I'll be backing him in here. So I just have given him the commentator's curse, haven't I?
Yeah, you have. And you're not the first one to give one out either. Here's Winspear. He's kept it low, and he's fluffed his lines. As you have, Nathan.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, sorry.
Yes. Well, he tried to punch it low, which was the right idea, but just didn't get the right piece of it.
Well, the bonus is they've got a stoppage in their forward 50, so let's see what they can conjure here.
They'd be desperate to level it up so that they go with the breeze in the last quarter. Level. So 2.5 minutes to go in this third term. Or 2.5 and 15 seconds if you're our men in the time clock.
And Fraser's just come on the ground running quite freely, so I think he'll be okay.
Here's an opportunity. Barrett just overruns it. And we get another ball up. The little man in there was Percy Bennett, number 25, the long sleeves. Barrett got it out of there with a real high ball. And it's to the line. Trudgeon there again. So a couple of minutes to go in the third term. Georgetown have the ascendancy. Courtesy of Tuttle, who kicked 2 of the best goals you've seen this final series, to be honest. Little handball give. Nicely done from Alps.
They just tried to outmark each other there, Georgetown. A little bit of voice.
Potter. Fraser's back on. Can't keep him out of the action. McFarlane drifted a little bit. Hadley had a difficult one to manoeuvre around and cop one high. Hadley wants to play on. Desperate for a goal here, Old Scotch. Time ticking away, but Triffett just found himself in the right place as that ball died in its trajectory and just says, well, okay, you can get from that end of the ground, that side of the ground to this one, because this is where I'm going. We're going out here. We've got a lead, and we want to hold on to it to three-quarter time. That ball touched as it rolls away. And it'll be another ball in, so 30-odd seconds to go in the third term. And what a term. This has been the best football we've seen so far in the game this third quarter. A couple of goals to Tuttle, and Briggs got a goal for Old Scotch. Brown, cross, knocks it forward. Little kick off the ground there was by Polglace. Goes back in after it again, Polglace. And the umpire said you dropped it. Really have full control of it, and Andy Pass has got it. Wants to handball to McFarlane. They've probably run out of time here, Old Scotch, to get a score as Crosby tries to get through. Whiten had him. And that is three-quarter time here at UTAS Stadium. And the grand final is all set up. Georgetown are going to have to defend their socks off and kick a couple of goals in this final term that's coming up. Georgetown 3-2-20. Old Scotch 2-2-14, with thanks to our people at Harcourts. Also Jeremy Wilkinson. He's been the Tasmanian Agent of the Year 5 years running. Also Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund, Launceston and Hobart, and the Athlete's Foot, Brisbane Street, Launceston. They are big sponsors of the NTFA. Goal kickers in the game. And, 2 goals in that term to Sash and Tuttle for Georgetown, and then a single to Fraser. And then for Old Scotch, singles to Oliver Knowles and Briggs. So they are the goal scorers at half time, at three-quarter time, I should say. Georgetown 3-2-20, Old Scotch 2-2-14. Nathan Warren, thoughts on the 3 quarters of football, in particular that third term?
Yeah, well, you've summed it up with Tadiel. Made 2 great goals. We got good looks of him up here. He was really lively there. Again, I've spoken about him, Fraser. He went off and got some treatment and obviously come back on, so it looks like he'll be right to go. He's been great for the 3 quarters for him. And Ollie Jones, I thought, was a great, was really prominent in that quarter of football, just with his bullocking stuff out of stoppage. Got the hands free, which loaded Tadiel up with one of his. And for Scotch, I think they need to. I spoke about it earlier. They need to take the ball off the line. They're just playing into Georgetown's hands by going long down the line. There's times there where they can go back. The old saying, back to go forward, so backward 45, get the ball into the wide open spaces. I think their legs will do it. I'd like to see a lift with Edwards. He's been pretty quiet these 3 quarters, and Bellinger, although he's done some good things, I think if he can really get his hands on the ball, it'll be different for Scotch. Comments from Nathan Warren there. Half time at UTAS Stadium in the under-18s grand final in the NTFA. It is Georgetown 3-2-20, Old Scotch 2-2-14. We'll be back with the final quarter shortly.
Harcourts, more than just real estate professionals.
It's a state of mind. Dreaming big, unearthing possibilities, identifying potential. We Tasmanians thrive on this. It's what makes us different. It's what drives us to succeed. Together, we can embrace the future. MCMF and us. A state of opportunity.
Hi, I'm Ray Chamberlain, and here are the top reasons why you should become an AFL umpire. You love intellectual conversations.
I know you're not. No, I said.
And you said no. Everybody knows you need help with your anger management issues.
We don't talk to one another like that. It's okay.
You just can't keep up with the young ones any longer.
It's run down.
Because you like to get paid to keep fit.
Blow your whistle, show your decision, show your good strong signals, then get on your bike and go.
It's the best game in the world.
About to go in the final quarter of the NTFA Under-18s Grand Final. Michael Maney and Nathan Warren with you, thanks to Roundtable and also Harcourts and Jeremy Wilkinson, Tasmanian Agent of the Year, 5 years running. What a performance here by Georgetown to be 6 points in front. Here we go. The ruckmen go at it as they have. What a contest that has been in the ruck between Sam Brown and the number 62, Elliot Cross. And we'll get to do it all again. Here's Bellinger. Kicks it high. They'll need a goal really quick. Crosby just ran onto it. Tried to get the handball over the top. Here's your little man in number 26 in Michael Innes-Smith, but he couldn't control it. Over the top, Archie Edwards. So the defending, nicely done by Ellis. Gets it in the 1-2 and down the line. Trudgeon couldn't take the mark, wasn't there. Bellinger got his arms free, or almost got his arms free. He's trying to get rid of it desperately, but the umpire will call for it. Gee, Old Scotch, they need to stamp something early, Nathan, because they don't want to run out of time.
Well, I said I wanted to see a bit more from Bellinger, and right on cue, he's had the first clearance of the game, and then he's got his hands on it again. So if he continue this form, Scotch will be a fair chance.
Archie Edwards over this footy, and they would like to keep it on the outer side, Georgetown, but at some stage you might be in front, but you've got to put the game out of harm's way.
And Scotch are definitely kicking to the scoring end. Most of the goals have been down. I think there's only been one down the other end, so even though there's only been 5 scored in the game.
Cross got a free kick. That's true. Cross got a free kick, but I don't know that it was there. Passini did nicely. His ugly old kick. Crosby's a left footer. Here we go. Curls it round, and they get that goal.
I think he got the back snapping there, mate. They thought they'd had the ball up the ground a little bit, and they looked away, and all of a sudden it's getting surged in.
Well, that is a real statement. Crosby's been a handy player for them, but he gets his first goal, and what an important time at the 2-minute mark of the final quarter to level things up at 3-2-20 apiece.
Sometimes it's great to be a left footer. Swung on his left foot side, on his preferred side, and great goal.
Well, you picked it straight away before as that ball just went into his arms, into his hands. You said left footer, and you were spot on. He just curled it back beautifully. So scores level. Ruckman nullify each other.
Here he is again, Bellinger.
Yeah, Bellinger really needs to continue to push hard in this final term. So do every single player out there, all knocked forward. Oh, Fraser just almost taken out by McFarlane big time. Cop one on the ear and then spreads it out wide to Ellis. So Ellis has a little bit of sunshine comes into our day out there. Bassini can't get it. Now a little bit of work there by Polglace. And Fraser.
Well, called a free kick back. I think he was
back
slung
here,
after
was
he
it?
got rid of it. Yeah.
Little Polglace. He's a nippy little player. Keeps it low. Good kick. No mark. Well done by Jones. That's Oliver Jones. Kicked it high, wide, and not so handsome out on the full. There's not much, what would you say? There's a bit of skill, but he just loves to play a tough, hard game, doesn't he?
He's a straight line player, Ollie, which with his frame is you can see why. He's a big cut of a kid.
He is. He's a no-frills job.
Yep.
That's what he is.
And
Gets the job done.
Similar. Yep. Midfield, he's won Woody's one-on-one contests. He thrives for the contest. So I'm sure there'd be some good little tussles in the backyard with those two.
No doubt about that. Yeah, they'd have been scrapping for years, those two. But they give 100%, which is tremendous. Little kick inside 50. Hadley's in position A. Couldn't take the mark. Knocked off, it was G. Now a chance. Handball comes out to Briggs. Briggs jammed it on the boot. Yep, one-on-one. It gets over the back. But it looks like Line just went to ground a little bit too quickly there, which allowed Zane Cook to get the kick away. And now that's a very ordinary kick, but it might just work okay. And Ellis did well to keep it in. So Ellis said, come to me with a lead. Runs off the line. Kicks it long. Trudgeon couldn't take the mark. McFarlane. Bellinger. Cop one on the way through. Crowd want ball. And the umpire said, yep, little Polglace, he'll win the free kick. Game really on the line. 5 minutes gone in the final term. No mark. Mackenzie. And he'll be paid a free kick, Mackenzie, for being held onto. Big Jack Harris didn't go too much on that. McFarlane found some space and the kick was okay. Where does he go now?
Yep.
Goes nicely away to Hamish G. G gets the kick away, but it's a high ball. They've got to all sit under it. It's nicely done by Percy Bennett, but then he just lays into the back of his opponent. And a free kick here. Too high to Braden Arnold. So Arnold goes out wide. That's... Mark was dropped there by Reece Harris. Now an ugly bouncing ball here for Potter, but oh goodness me, that was terrific play. The handball wasn't all that flash. He might just get it back again, he does. And so he goes long with a real mung. Up they go. Polglace gets the handball away. Here's Jones, Lockie Jones. And then working out was Alps. And he's held onto the footy and locked it up. That's okay. The umpire says, give it to me. Ooh, it's really gone up a notch now.
Polglace has had some really crucial 5 minutes here at the start of this quarter. He's given him some fair looks 4 to 50.
Yeah, he has that. Here's an opportunity now for Jack Harris to kick it high. Jones almost got there. G did nicely. Hadley went straight through the old nutmeg. Now taken by Russell. Russell under pressure. Almost by Barrett. Now Barrett's got it again. His wobbly old ball is marked by Polglace.
There he is.
The little fella's got a strut on him. Look at that.
On cue, he pops up. We might have a new sprinkler.
He's got... I've got the footy. Look at me. And all he's got to do now is salute here. And Georgetown, against that breeze, will get a vital goal. Let's see what he can do. There's not much of him. He needs to get as close to the man on the mark without being dangerous. Here he goes. Onto the boots.
Pulled it across.
He has. But that's enough to get them in front.
He did have a fair strut, Mike. You're right. Very Conor McGregor-like. Just turned the back and said, I've got this, boys. But unfortunately couldn't get it through the two middle ones.
That's true. So all of a sudden the ball finds itself on the wing with that breeze. Now they go forward again to Georgetown. G just ducks away, did nicely, got it on the boot long. Potter's got some work here to do. Now Line, can he hold his feet? Just gave it off to Crosby. Crosby will want his left boot. He was thinking about it before he even got the ball. How do I get onto my left? Now Potter, outstanding stuff. The little handball away, nicely done as they get out of trouble there through Braden Arnold. Oh, could have been a high tackle. There it is. And the free kick will go to Ellis. And he's not worried about that because his team is in front. Another goal here for Georgetown. Look at that ball being taken away. The breeze is almost just blowing directly across the ground now. And Hadley's going to get this one. So Hadley wearing number 55. I don't know too many 55s that have carried that on for a long period of time in their career.
It says a lot for the fundamentals of football. I think if Charlie Crosby was clean there below his knees, he picks that up, he's pinning the ears back and he's having a shot. So here he is.
Yeah, here's little Innes Smith. Oh, I don't know that was out, the little fella. He sees the funny side of it, but the boundary umpire was right there, got a better view than anyone else. And it's good that they turn up and do these rolls for us in the NTFA. Little knockdown by Georgetown's
Bellinger.
ruckman there in cross, and Bellinger, quite correct, takes the mark, punches low. Crosby just ran under it, and the mark taken by Elliot Cross. The Cross with that left boot. He's got it off the side of the boot. It might just hang in there. It was still in play, and taking it to the line was Alps. And another ball in. We've gone 9.5 minutes now in the grand final. Up it goes. Quick kick out of there. Moving forward. Trudgeon collects and just throws it on the boot. Big pack of players. Ball flicks over the back. Bassini has got some work to do. Wants Bellinger. Bellinger has muffed that one just off the side of the boot. The Georgetown crowd action down there. We're pretty vocal. And the free kick will go to Barrett. So he's a long way from goal, Barrett, just near the interchange gates, as you can see. So you'll want to get this as far down. Polglace couldn't get it. Nice little tap by Harris forward. Ends up with Hadley. Hadley just jammed it on the boot. Now, that is an awkward bounce for Bellinger, and he wasn't getting that. And a ball in. So 1 point the margin. Georgetown holding on to a 1 point lead, but Old Scotch have the breeze in this final term. Knock forward, beautifully done. Old Scotch go into attack, just overrun there by Zane Cook, the number 91 for the Saints. And the ball up. Brown, Trudgeon, couldn't get it, and Edwards is taken to ground. Well, do you think both coaches have played all their aces so far, Nathan, and they're just waiting for it to all happen?
Yeah, I think so, mate. I know Aidan Jackman quite well, and he'll be very animated down there on the sideline.
McFarlane got it out wide. McKenzie got around Cross okay. Crosby gets over the back. Crosby might be a chance. Oh, I thought the little man had his jumper tugged. No free kick. Andy Pass was there. Trudgeon somehow hoists it high. Here's little Polglace. He's nippy.
He's been good.
Yep, Winspear was there. Polglace gone. The umpire will pay it against him. He was playing the ball all the way through, but then just got nailed at the end.
So they can't just bomb this in here because there's numbers back for Georgetown. They're going to have to think their way through this. And he's going to do exactly what I didn't want him to do.
And it might pay off for a goal, who knows. Here's your little man.
Here he is.
Here he is. He might just kick on the left. It bounces. It bounces through. Michael Innes Smith. Been waiting for his moment.
He did it last week, Mike, in the prelim, and he's popped up again. And here he is.
Innes Smith with a little left foot tumbler. And he gets his first goal at a really crucial time at the 12.5 minute mark to put Old Scotch in front by 5 points.
And that is nearly exactly how he got the goal last week. Just crumbed the ball in front, snapped it over his shoulder to put him in front, which is what he's done here. So great work, Mikey.
A goal to Michael Innes-Smith. Could it be the difference? We saw Tuttle kick a couple of crucial goals for Georgetown to really pop the question in the third quarter. And another little small forward in Innes-Smith gets his first. McFarlane, handball over the top. McKenzie's got to go here. And the tackle was outstanding on the man wearing number 31 in Joe Blong.
So you asked if Scotch if they've got any other aces to play, and they've just thrown McFarlane in the middle here. So they've got Ballinger, McFarlane, all their ball winners in the middle, which has given them clear dominance at the centre bounces.
There was Edwards, tackled. It might be coming back in through Winspear. Oscar Winspear. So Old Scotch making a real run now. Short little kick is okay, and that finds Lachlan Goldschmied. Lachlan Goldschmied, about 65 from goal, squares it up. It's all Georgetown here in the mark taken by Ellis. Ellis has been terrific. Wants a 50-metre penalty for Edwards getting into the protected zone. Won't get it. And now his kick is okay and finds Barrett on the outer side. Now Georgetown have got to take some chances. They've got to take some risks. They can't just sort of sit back. They've got to move it quickly. Hadley got his hands on the ball. And now Old Scotch need to defend their backsides off, because you know that Georgetown have probably got something on it. So here we go. Over the top. McFarlane's in there, can't grab it. Little quick kick out. Polglace, handball away, nicely done. Got it away to Long. Long's little quick kick. Hadley had to trap it, got through traffic, and then lost it. Little Polglace, he said, well, I get tackled, I can tackle too. And he's got it about on the wing, on the outer side. He needs to move it quickly. There's not an awful lot of time to go. And out of there, nicely done by Alps. Just a dump kick. Here's Polglace again. Geez, had a really good quarter. He gets tackled again, Polglace, and the umpire said push in the back. Well, got the rub of the green this time.
He's had a great last quarter, Polglace, hasn't he? He's popped up at crucial times for them.
Got it to Kobe Triffett. Triffett kicks it long to the pocket. All done by G. Almost missed the ball there, G. Ball with Harris is going to go out of play, and it'll be a boundary throw-in as we tick into almost 16 minutes of this final term. The quarters go 20, no time on.
Well, we've got, if it's a draw though, Mike, we've got two 5 minute each either way. 5 minutes either way.
Great to have Nathan Warren in the box with all the rules right at his disposal. Braden Arnold takes the mark on the wing outer side. He knows the urgency of it and decides to load it up long. McFarlane takes a lovely mark. A saving mark by McFarlane. He's been good all day.
I just love how he does that, mate. He doesn't look straight. He always takes his eyes off the line.
Here's Hadley.
Let's get over the bat.
Had some composure. Crosby couldn't quite get in the contest. Here's a chance for Georgetown again. Nicely done by Long. Long, short little kick is okay. Finds Ellis. Gee, could this be another go for Georgetown? Ellis goes long. It holds up in the breeze. Who can take a mark? Oh, Harris almost did. Alps got the handball away. And it will be close to the line. Antipass, well done. Swung on the kick. Out into open territory. Michael Innes-Smith, here he is, or ran straight past it. Got to go back in, and then knocked it out of play deliberately that I could see.
Charlie Crosby's come off with what looks to be, looks cramp, or they're just sort of, looks like calf cramp. He's been good this last quarter too, Charlie, so they want to get him back on with 3 minutes to go.
It's a big ground, and some of these young blokes can struggle at times in covering it all the way to the line. Ellis can't get it, and he's hurt his finger there, or his thumb. And he might have just got it on the end. So Cross and Harris. Sam Brown, I should say. Antipass, looked like he threw it out. Barrett caught by line. In goes Edwards. It's not coming out of there. Did he drag it back in? Umpire said that's okay. Big tackle. I think the umpire might have been obscured there.
2-minute warning.
Yeah, 2-minute warning. This game brought to you by Jeremy Wilkinson from Harcourts. Quick kick by Ellis, but getting back his Winspear. So Winspear wants to take his time. He says, we've got a 5-point lead. We've got to soak up a bit of time. And he'll get it as deep as he can. It might just flick over the back. There's our man.
If he goes,
Innes Smith.
He's calling. He's putting the cooler on it. Yep.
Yeah, there he goes. He's got the kick away now. Up it goes. Line. Can't get a handle on it. Georgetown defending grimly. The kick by Zane Cook is out on the full. And just needed to steady a bit more.
And they won't be in a hurry to get the ball back, Scotch.
No, that ball's lost. It's going to take a lot of time, but it comes back reasonably quickly. So Michael Innes Smith.
No, it'll be Charlie. Sorry, mate. It'll be Charlie.
Edwards.
Edwards, sorry.
Yep, it'll be Edwards. So here's Edwards. He is taking his time. The umpire hasn't hurried him up. We're into the last minute. Edwards hoists it high. It's a wonderful kick. It's gone through for a goal. And Old Scotch, you would think, can't be beaten in this game. The Edwards kick was a perfect thing.
30 seconds to go, mate. I think they've got, that's all she wrote. And great goal.
What a
great
kick.
Goal. Just started out in front again and let the wind do the work. So goals from either side of the ground. They've let the wind do the work on it. Great goal. Edwards.
His first goal of the game, and what a time to put the ceiling on it. The time's ticking away. Ball hasn't even been bounced. We're about to hit siren time. Old Scotch will be premiers in 2023. There it goes, the siren, and Old Scotch have beaten Georgetown in a wonderful game of football. Both teams finally got it all together in the second half. It was a pleasure to watch for the whole game, to be honest. What a game of footy. Old Scotch 5-2-32 defeated Georgetown 3-3-21. Goal scorers for Old Scotch, we had Edwards, Innes Smith, Crosby, Briggs and Knowles. And for Georgetown, 2 to Tuttle and a single to Fraser. But what a victory, Nathan Warren, from Old Scotch.
Oh yeah, absolutely, mate. So that's 3 premierships out of possible 4 for Old Scotch. So well done to the club. But what a game! We said it was going to be a great game from the start, and although it was reasonably low, it was low scoring. It was a great game of football. I thought for Old Scotch, I thought Elps was instrumental in the third quarter, mate. He really got his hands on it in the back half and repelled some good forward entries from Georgetown. But for Likes, McFarlane was great. Ballinger, I wanted to get his hands on the ball in the last quarter, and he did. And little Mikey Innes Smith, I was calling it. I was just waiting for him to pop up, and there he is. So well done. And then for unfortunately unlucky for Georgetown, but I thought tried hard. Tadiel with 2 goals. Fraser tried hard all day, and I thought Potter was probably their best player for the day. So well done, Old Scotch. Great game of footy and great call, Mike.
So comments from Nathan Warren as the players shake hands in the middle of the ground. Georgetown gallant in defeat. They had some players that can really hold their head. Well, they can all hold their head up because they gave this grand final 100%. You can see the little man there in Polglace.
He was good.
Tristan Polglace.
Yeah, he tried hard in the last quarter.
He tried extremely hard. He's got a future. Well, they've all got some talent, these guys. There's not too many of them out there that don't have a really solid football future in front of them. Just brilliant game of footy. So
the coach for Old Scotch can't actually celebrate. He's got to get on a plane and head to Melbourne with the Devils. He's heading over and he's running water for the Devils tomorrow. So
wow.
Aiden, although he celebrated quite well last week with their win.
Yes, he might have got to get a bit of early celebrations in. And as you can see, they're all getting to across to the presentation area. But what a game of football it was. Just the one score in the first quarter. Old Scots led by a point. and then at half-time, Old Scotch by a couple of points. And then coming into three-quarter time, it was a 6-point lead, a goal lead to Georgetown. But I think where they lost this grand final was in the first quarter. They couldn't make the most of that strong breeze they had in the first quarter, and they trailed at quarter time with the breeze. And then coming home with the breeze, Old Scotch, with goals to Crosby, Innes-Smith and Edwards with the clincher. And it ended up being a solid 11-point win to Old Scotch. And Rick Fontaine is down at ground level. We'll go to the presentations in just a few moments' time as the Georgetown team find their way to the front of the presentation area. Old Scotch still hugging and chatting and pats on the back, and so they should, because it was a tremendous grand final victory to them. Goal scorers, once again, we'll just go through them. Crosby, Edwards, Knowles, Briggs and Innes-Smith with singles, and then for Georgetown, 2 to Tuttle and 1 to Cale Fraser. And we're just about to go with Rick Fontaine in the presentation area.
Ladies and gentlemen, firstly, massive thank you to Georgetown and Old Scotch and all the fans that have come out here. Great crowd to see young under-18s football here this morning. You should be very proud of both of your teams in really tough condition. Great game of football. Congratulations to Georgetown and Old Scotch. We'll give them a round of applause. Free-flowing game, and that's helped by the umpires, and congratulations to our umpires today as well. And I'm going to invite life member of the NTFA, Jeff Skeggs, to come forward to present a box of medals for our umpires. If one of the representatives would like to come forward and collect on behalf of the umpires, please. Before we present the medals for the best player on the ground today, the David Marshall medal, I'm going to invite the coach of Georgetown, Darcy Lay, to come forward and say a few words, please. Thanks, Darcy.
Starting off, I just want to congratulate Old Scotch. We've had some great battles this year, haven't we? And this last one, the final one, he's come out on top. He's played a great brand, fellas, and congratulations. To our boys, we battled all year, but you got to take the good with the bad, fellas. It is a loss, but at the end of the day, we still had a great journey together. We'll support each other and keep going, fellas. And it's too bad for the day. And to all the supporters, thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. It's good to see. It's good to see a lot of people here supporting the under-18s football. There's some great talent out here today, and I'm glad we had it on display. Thanks to the NTFA and everyone else. Cheers.
Thanks, Darcy. Well said. Should be very proud of yourselves, Georgetown, and the club is heading in a fantastic direction. You've had a great year. Well done. I'd now like to invite, speaking of legends from the Georgetown area, I'd like to invite David Marshall, who's going to present the David Marshall Medal for the player judged best on ground in the grand final. And the winner of that medal from Old Scotch, number 8, Ollie McFarlane. And also, the medal, in addition to that, he'll get a $100 voucher with thanks to the Athlete's Foot as well to spend in the shop. So, well done, Ollie. Did you want to say anything?
I'd just like to thank the Georgetown boys, been the benchmark all year along with the South. Also, the supporters and all the volunteers that get the footy going, all the NTFA and especially our Jim and Lucy, Aidan. Cheers.
Well done. Going well with this wind here. All right. Now time to present our premiership medals, and I'm going to invite NTFA board member Damien Rind to present the medals, and we'll also be joined by Durrani Power from MCMF, a brand new sponsor to the NTFA, to present the caps. So thank you to MCMF for being on board with us in 2023. So I'm going to call your name, if you could please make your way up to receive your premiership medallion. And we're going to start off from Old Scotch, number 2, Aston Piscini. Number 5, Matt Russell. Next up, number 6, Charlie Crosby. Number 7, Hamish G. Now to receive his second medal of the day, number 8, Ollie McFarlane. Number 9, Josh Line. Number 10, Lucian Weaver. Number 11, Archie Edwards. Number 12, Lachlan Goldschmied. Number 13 is next, Oliver Knowles. Number 14, Oscar Winspear. Number 17, Hamish Fife. Number 18, Jack Briggs. Number 19 is Thomas Hawkins. Number 20, Rupert McKenzie. Number 22, Fletcher Alps. Number 23 is George Russell. Number 24, Jeremy Andipas. Number 25, Percy Bennett. Number 26, Michael Innes-Smith. Number 28, Rory Dick. Number 55, Oliver Hadley. '74, Sam Brown. And the captain of Old Scotch under-18s, number 21, Eli Bellinger. And the coach of our premiership team for 2023, let's hear it for Aidan Jackman.
Firstly to Georgetown, thank you for the game. You guys had a great season, so keep your heads up high and I'm sure you'll be back stronger next year. To the NTFA and all their sponsors, thank you, because without you guys we can't have great games and seasons like we have this year. To the supporters from both sides, thank you for coming out. I know the boys love playing in front of big crowds, really gets them up and about. To my assistant coach Connor, couldn't have done it without you, mate, and Will and James and the whole support crew we have back at the club with the committee as well. So thank you to everyone. Cheers.
Thanks, Aidan. Congratulations and well done to yourself on last week and, of course, today as well. A couple of things left to present. Next, it is the Premiership flag for season 2023. I'll invite NTFA President Scott Brigby to make the presentation to the President of Old Scotch, Jim Dennis. Congratulations, Jim. Thank you, Scott. And last but not least, great pleasure to present the Premiership Cup that'll be performed by club legend of Old Scotch, Johnny Bales. We'll invite him to come forward. And if I could also have Eli Bellinger and Aidan, if you two could come up here to accept the Premiership Cup. And once that's been done, boys, you'll be welcome to come for a big team photo. So congratulations to our 2023 NTFA Under-18 Premiers, Old Scotch.